When the couple decided to welcome Rosie into their home, they were unfamiliar with her pregnancy. Though they had rescued numerous dogs in the past, this was an entirely new experience for them. When Rosie went into labor and began delivering her puppies, the couple was astonished beyond words. Realizing she required immediate assistance, they understood the urgency of the situation. In 2017, Rosie, a mix of golden retriever, endured a heartless abandonment at the shelter by her former owners. To compound the distress, she was on the brink of delivering her puppies. The shelter staff, burdened by limited resources, shared deep concerns for Rosie and her impending litter. It was an unacceptable situation for any dog to give birth alone in an overcrowded shelter. Without delay, Rosie was in dire need of assistance. Recognizing that Rosie required specialized care, the animal shelter manager took initiative and reached out to News River Golden Retriever Rescue, an esteemed organization in North Carolina known for rehabilitating and placing golden retrievers in foster homes while they await adoption. Luckily, one of the members in this organization happened to know the ideal couple for the task at hand. The following morning, a dedicated volunteer from News River Golden Retriever Rescue arrived at the shelter to collect Rosie. However, upon seeing her, the volunteer sensed the looming possibility of Rosie going into labor before they could reach the veterinarian. Thankfully, Rosie made it to the Raleigh Vet Clinic, where the vet on duty gave her a clean bill of health. Now that they knew Rosie was perfectly healthy, the next step was to find an experienced foster family who could assist her when she gave birth. Katie and John Black began fostering dogs in 2009. Since then, they have successfully fostered more than 20 dogs. The volunteer knew that the couple had all the experience necessary to ensure that Rosie's birth went without a hitch, and so 5 days after Rosie was abandoned at the shelter, she was welcomed into the Blacks' household, but nobody could have expected the way things would play out. "This is our new foster," Rosie the Blacks introduced her on Instagram, who was very preggers and close to delivering her puppies. Rosie was reserved and a bit frightened at first, and who could blame her? He or she was with strangers about to give birth to a litter of pups. When the big day arrived, the Blacks would receive a surprise that would captivate the whole internet. When Rosie went into labor just a few days later, Kate and John did everything in their power to make her as comfortable as possible. Although it was a complicated birth, the Blacks knew exactly what to do to ensure that she and her puppy survived. But when the puppies began to appear, Katie couldn't believe her eyes. As the couple assisted Rosie, they were completely taken aback by the puppies that were emerging, but they couldn't dwell on the pup's appearance. They had to make sure that Rosie kept her strength up and gave birth to every pup within a reasonable time frame. Rosie's belly had been so large that the Blacks anticipated a large litter, but they were in for yet another surprise. The Blacks made sure that Rosie had given birth to every pup in her belly, but were still surprised when she only delivered 4. The Blacks knew that other dogs her size usually gave birth to 5 or 6, but thankfully they were all large and healthy. Now that Rosie had delivered all her puppies, Kate let out a sigh of relief. Then she wrote the update for our social media followers that whipped the internet into a frenzy. Our foster dog, a golden mix, gave birth yesterday. To baby cows, Kate wrote to everyone's amusement. The 4 pups had unusual black spots and didn't look anything like their mom. Hilariously, the Blacks decided to name the puppies Clarabelle, Betsy, Daisy, and Moo. And the internet couldn't get enough of Rosie's cow puppies. It wasn't long before Kate's social media account blew up with messages and jokes about the strange spotted creatures. My dad laughed for quite a while at the photos. Kate told the press association it was clear that the father of the pups wasn't a golden retriever like Rosie, but then just what was he? There are many dog breeds that have white fur and black spots, and social media users love the mystery, as everyone tried to guess what. Some were sure that Rosie had fallen in love with a Dalmatian. Others suggested the dad had been an English setter. There was no shortage of theories as everyone got in on the guessing game. So, who was right? While there are many breeds with white fur and black spots, one candidate seems more likely than the rest. Only Dalmatians have true spots. Dogs with other markings have what is known as ticking. Their markings are made up of small, isolated areas of tiny dots. Meanwhile, Rosie's family photo was spreading like wildfire. It was Kate's dad who suggested that Kate post the photos of the puppies on Reddit. He had a feeling that they would go viral, and he was right. Rosie and her babies blew up the internet. What made the photos even funnier was the fact that Rosie looked just as perplexed by her puppies as everyone else. More than 90,000 users liked the photo and 1,600 users commented, and when Kate shared the photo on Instagram, the couple's popularity skyrocketed. "I believe there's been a mixed bag here," one Reddit user wrote. Others commented on Rosie's comical expression, saying that she looked like she was defending her choices. So, what? Is that really such a big deal? Are you so closed-minded? Other commenters, however, weren't so positive. Of course, as with most viral stories, there were a few haters. Although most people who saw the photos of Rosie's cow pups were positive about the situation, others accused Kate and John of allowing their foster rescue dogs to breed. In the Blacks' defense, Rosie was already pregnant when they took her in after receiving hateful comments. Katie was careful to specify that they hadn't allowed Rosie to get pregnant. Kate clarified that they had received Rosie already pregnant. "We weren't going to abort her puppies," she commented. "She will be spayed immediately when she came." It's unfortunate that Rosie had gotten pregnant in the first place. While Kate and John didn't want her litter to contribute to the number of unwanted dogs in the world, they had to do the best they could for them. Meanwhile, Rosie's recovery wasn't going as planned. Although the birth was successful, Rosie's health began to decline after she delivered her litter. The Blacks realized that she had an infection. Rosie suffered from arthritis, a bacterial infection in her uterus caused by having a difficult birth. The vet prescribed antibiotics for several weeks while the Blacks looked after the pups. Fortunately, Rosie's infection cleared up and she could finally feed her puppies herself. In no time, she had returned to health, settled right and happy to be a mom and care for her puppies. Rosie was a good mother too. She was protective of her pups, following them around wherever they went. As the pups grew up, they stopped resembling cow. In just 2 weeks, the puppies opened their eyes, captivating Kate and John's hearts more with each passing moment. They soon started frolicking around the garden on their unsteady legs. Rosie, being a loving and devoted mother, appeared content in her role. Adoption requests flooded into the rescue center, eager to provide these precious pups with forever homes. Rosie proved to be an exceptional mom, showering her pups with affectionate licks and nursing them. Kate and John watched with unwavering devotion. Although deeply attached, the couple made the difficult decision not to keep any of the puppies. One by one, at 10 weeks old, they were joyfully welcomed by their new families, continuing to thrive in their new homes. As for Rosie, her journey to find a forever home also reached a happy conclusion. After a man read about her incredible tale on Facebook, he couldn't resist the urge to meet her. Instantly falling in love, he welcomed her into his home. Rosie now has a promising future ahead, having been sterilized to ensure she never experiences a similar ordeal again. Each and every one of the baby cows found loving families who would cherish and protect them every single day. Rosie, too, was adopted into a caring family, but she made sure to stay until every single one of her pups had also found their forever homes. Like a devoted mother, she bid them farewell. If it weren't for remarkable individuals like the Blacks, Rosie's story could have taken a much darker turn. Her journey is just one of many, and thanks to the unwavering dedication of a shelter and the couple's profound love for the breed, Rosie is destined for a life filled with joy. Shelters greatly appreciate any assistance they can receive, whether it's through adoption or fostering if adoption is not feasible for you. In the event that fostering is not within your means, there are still impactful ways to contribute. Donating or simply raising awareness about rescue organizations and the remarkable animals eagerly awaiting their forever homes can make a significant difference. By lending your support, you can play a vital role in improving the lives of these deserving creatures.